Hi, this video is to outline design considerations and planning for photovoltaic installation on a residential property in Summit County, Colorado. We moved to the property just a few weeks back, and I'm interested in maximizing our solar production and also food production. So I know that I'm going to need greenhouse space in the backyard. I'm thinking about an attached greenhouse on the back of this garage. The existing garage is pretty ideal for photovoltaics. This is not the existing garage roof. We were considering whether or not it made sense to add additional living space before installing solar. But at this time, we actually have an asphalt roof with a 412 pitch, which you'll see later. I just wanted to show this earlier iteration because in thinking about growing food without competing with solar, I've been researching agrivoltaics and looking at ways to grow behind solar panels. This seemed like a pretty interesting iteration, but I've more or less ruled it out due to the cost and labor of individual pole mount panels, along with things like the distance of electrical runs and etc. So here's something a little more up to date, and all of this is pretty accurate based on an ILC of the property that we have, showing the existing home, house, and the backyard. So note in beige is the solar setback in Summit County. This shows 10 feet from the property line. The fence is 2 feet off of the property line. Here I'm looking at two top of pole mounted systems, thinking just based on a Montana solar system that I saw, but this is just to show that all of the agrivoltaic part is really up in the open. I'd be looking for expertise on how best to run that. So we do want to take advantage of this east-southeast facing roof. I believe the azimuth is 103.5 degrees facing east-southeast. This shows 72 cell panels, a 6 kilowatt system, 3x5. And we were also thinking that while on the roof and doing all the work, we may wish to install another 2 kilowatts, 5 400 watt panels on this west-northwest slope for late evening production. Here, just show that we're interested in some ground mount because we're hoping to have production every day of the year or as close to as possible. I know that snow on an annual basis might not be a major factor for production as it melts off, but we'd be interested in something that could be adjusted to a higher tilt in winter and ideal tilt in summer, maybe just manually adjusted seasonally, something that can be cleared. Also, I'll mention looking at bifacial panels, both for perhaps better production in snow with reflected light, but also to allow a little more sunlight through. And I think I will close to keep from getting too long with a look at the electrical service on the property. So right now there's an easement between our property and the neighbors. There's actually the fence does not go immediately into the neighbor's yard. There's an Excel easement. Existing power comes in underground behind the fence and travels, I assume, and we have seen the paint, I assume directly to the meter on the outside of the house here. Note that there is a deck over the meter right now on the split level home, but you have an outside breaker, you have a panel leading to a hot tub, which is not shown here, and then 100 amps goes back to a sub panel and a panel here inside the garage. So I have considered whether or not, if I want to build a substantial greenhouse in this setback area off the garage, currently, if that required any footings, it would require digging over this existing line. So now may be the time to upgrade this service to 200 amps or more. I don't think we necessarily need more, but I've wondered if we could come in around this red setback instead, maybe even tie in, before the panel, forget the term for that, and then even potentially come to the garage for the main panel and make the house a 150 amp sub. So I think that covers most of the considerations and should give you a good idea of what we are thinking about. Really look forward to your input. Thanks.